Hey, welcome to Color Up. Today we're going to talk about the funnest, okay, that's not a word, the most fun bet in craps. Bonus craps, you might know it as the all tall small or boom or bust or little ones, big ones. Different casinos have different names for it, but essentially, commonly, all tall small I think is the most common name. We're going to talk a little bit about this, kind of the math. Is it a good bet? Is it a bad bet? We're going to talk about hedging it and when you should or if you should hedge the bet if you're just missing one number before you hit it. So let's get right into it. All right, your local casino may or may not even have the side bet. Usually it's up in the center of the table, and part of the reason for that is because they have to pay for it. These are licensed side bets. So for instance, if you do have the all tall small or the little ones, the big ones, the boom or bust, these are owned by different companies, but the casino is going to have to pay a licensing fee to have that. So monthly or yearly, but essentially they're going to have to pay to then have that bet on the table. So I have made my own little version here. It's the low side, the high side, and the color up. I don't currently have this available in my store, but maybe if there's enough interest, I'll print these out and make these available. So what this is essentially three different bets. You can bet on the low side, which is the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the low numbers, right? Or you could bet on the high side, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Or you can bet on the all, right? Or in my case, the color up, which is all the numbers. You can bet one, you could bet all of them, whatever you want. You could bet two, just two of them, but essentially it's three different bets. Now, like most center action, this is going to have a lower minimum bet than the standard tables. So if you're at a $10 or $15 table, the bet on these might be as little as $1. Now, I've seen, because everyone plays this bet, because it's such a fun bet, it can really slow the game down. So I have seen tables bump this up to a $5 bet. And so it's just going to depend on the table and what their specific rules are. And if you're at a $25 table, most of the inside bets are going to be $5 anyway. So it's just going to depend whether it's a $1 or $5 minimum bet. And then there's usually going to be a maximum allowed that they're going to allow you to bet on this. Now, I did the most common payouts, which is 30-1 for the small and the tall, and 150 for the make them all. Those are kind of the most popular payouts. Now, with these payouts, this is a pretty bad bet, right? So the house edge is 21%. The house edge on these bets are over 18%. So, if you're worried about house edge, these are pretty crappy bets, right? Now, I will say, and I actually played one this weekend, there are markets that have the original or a higher payout, and they'll pay 175 and 34 for these. And that brings the house edge in the 7% range for all these bets. So in that case, you're better off making these bets than, hard way bets or, any of these other prop bets. So at 7% for a fun side bet, that's actually not too bad if it pays 175 and 34. But probably you're going to see this payout. And in that case, again, like I said, not a good bet. When I see these payouts, I don't personally play this that much unless I'm the shooter, and then I'll also make a bet for the dealers on this. At the higher payouts, I will play it a little more actually because it's not too bad of a house edge, and like I said, it's a lot of fun. Now you can make this bet in any combination, like 1-1-1 is real common. You could bet 2-1-2, something like that. I mean, really doesn't matter. You could bet, $5 on one. Let's say we go 5-5-5, kind of whatever you're comfortable with or whatever you want to do. Now, how this works is as soon as you roll a number, they're going to mark the number. Now, I will say with any 7, you're going to lose your bet. So even if it's the come out roll and the puck is off, you make these bets, you roll a come out 7, well, these bets are going to lose, and then you're going to have to rebet them. But let's say you don't. You roll a 5 for the come out. They're going to then mark the 5, and we're on our way to making the low side, right? So, let me grab some dice. We'll just kind of give a little example and see what happens here. Well, we roll a 5 again, okay? So in this case, it's already marked. Our puck is going to go off, but we're not going to mark another number because we haven't rolled another number. All right, we're coming out again. We'll see what happens here. This time we roll a 4. They mark the 4, and again, the puck doesn't really matter, but we've now rolled a 4. So we've got two numbers on our way to rolling the low side, right? So let's go. Oh, there we go. We got aces. This is going really good for us. And this is where the excitement builds, because you're like, well, all right, now all I need is the 3 and 6 and I'm gonna get paid 30 to 1. All right, let's see what happens here. We've got an 8, so they're gonna mark the 8. All right, now we're working on the high side and the all, actually. We just gotta avoid the 7. We don't care about repeat numbers. All right, what do we got here? We've got a 9, okay. We're doing good so far. And that's why another reason that people like this. So it seems relatively easy, right? A random roller, controlled shooter, it doesn't really matter. You just gotta roll all the numbers. I guess I should mention the probability of rolling like the low side or the high side is 1 in 38. And that's why they're not gonna pay you, they're only gonna pay you 30, maybe 34, because they're gonna collect 38 times before they have to pay back, right? So that's how they make their money. And then with the all, to make them all, the probability of rolling all the numbers is 1 in 190. So that's why they're only gonna pay you 150, maybe 175. They're not gonna pay you 190 because, you know, that would be true odds for that case. So low probability, it's not gonna happen, but when it does, it's a lot of fun, all right? We're missing a couple numbers here. Let's give a couple quick rolls. So there's the 6. Okay, now we're getting excited. We need the 3. Now, just for my demonstration, let's just suppose that we do roll the 3. This case, they're gonna mark it. You've now hit the low side or the small or the little ones, just depending on what they're gonna call it. And you have now locked in in my case, the low side bet. So what is it gonna pay? 30. We got a $5 bet out there, so $150 is already coming your way. Again, I've seen different house rules. Some pay you immediately, some wait until, you know, the 7 happens and then they pay it all at once. It's just gonna depend. But you are guaranteed this is going to be paid. Now you may or may not make the high side. So let's say we roll an 11 and then we roll the 7. At that point, these bets are going to lose and not get paid, but hey, we're gonna get paid already for the low side. And then if obviously it's a 7, the game restarts. So these would all be collected and then you would remake your bets if you wanted to. So a question I get sometimes is about hedging these bets. So you could hedge it if you want. So let's say, well, let me just say what the most common situation is. A lot of times you'll see, because the 2 and the 12 are the hardest to hit, or, you know, maybe the 11 or whatever, but the extreme outside numbers, a lot of times it'll come down to just one of those numbers being hit. There's not really a great way to hedge this. So what happens is you're going to get paid for the small in this case. We're not getting paid for the high side yet because we haven't hit the 12, but if we hit the 12, we get paid for both the high side and the all, right? Or in this case, the color up. So we'd love to hit that 12. There's not really a way to hedge it. So what causes this bet to lose? The 7. So you could make, you know, a bet on hopping the 7s or the 7 here, but really that's a one roll bet. So, you know, you're just betting, you're kind of hedging it and having to repeat that hedge every roll. So a lot of people are not going to do that because, you know, who knows, you may roll 20 more times before you see the 7. So if you're betting the 7 for 20 more times, it's not really going to pay off very well. So what more commonly you'll see is a box number is left and people will hedge the box number. So if the 10 is left, if we roll a 10, we win. And in this case, we'd win an extra 180 to 1, or the 7 would cause us to lose these bets. Let me just change this down just to make it a little bit simpler in the math. So we'll say we have $1 on each, so 1, 1, 1. So how would you hedge this? Now, you know, if you roll the 10, you're going to get paid $150 and you're going to get paid $30. So you're going to win $180 if you can roll this 10. If you roll the 7, you're going to be missing out on the $180. So what would make sense to do? It wouldn't make sense to make a $200 lay bet. So you would lay, and then you're probably going to take a $5 vig. So $205 bet as a hedge, because if you roll the 10, you win 180. If you roll the 7, well, this is a bet that the 7 will show before the 10. That's what a lay bet is. You would win only $100. So if we roll the 7, we win 100. If we roll the 10, we win 180. But if we roll that 10, we'd lose this $200 and $5 bet. So that doesn't make sense. There's no real exact number, but let's say we consider making a $100 lay. What would be in that case? Well, for starters, it's probably going to cost you $102 or $103 because you're going to have to pay that VIG up front. So let's say we have a $100 lay. If we roll the 10, we're going to lose 100 and we're going to win 180, essentially profiting $80. But if we roll the 7, we're going to get paid $50 for this $100 lay bet. So we've now hedged our bet. So both situations are good for us. If we roll the 7, we're going to win $50. If we roll the 10, we're going to win $80. So what's the correct amount? It just kind of depends on how much you kind of win back. And you could do that for any box number. Let's say it's, you're missing the 5, you'd make a lay bet against the 5. And again, the amount's going to depend on how much you're going to win and how much you want to go back. So for me, this is kind of a win-win situation, but in my case, I would just let it ride. I prefer to go for either the 180 or just kind of miss out. So maybe you're a more conservative player and you're like, man, I'd rather have that guaranteed money. And that's what a hedge does. You're guaranteed the $50 or the $80 profit. Me, it's a side bet. It's for fun. I'd rather have 180 or nothing. So that's going to just depend on you, whether you want to hedge and then for how much. So that's how hedging against this bonus bet works. I think that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, a lot of casinos are starting to require some sort of action, and more specifically, a lot of casinos are requiring you to make a pass line bet in order to make a bet on the all tall small. But let's go ahead and roll this out just real quickly so you can kind of see it in action, see how it works, and see how the numbers get marked. I'm going to kind of roll through this real quickly, not make any other bets. So let's say we're on the pass line and we're going to make, maybe your casino allows $25 bets, so this would be a huge win. Let's go ahead and see how this works. Just real quickly in action. And here we go, coming out. All right, 10 is going to be our point. So our pass line is a bet on the 10, and they're going to mark that 10. Immediately it starts getting marked, and we're on our way to hit the high side. All right, here we go. There's the 8. And again, this is an independent game. So if you bet on the 8, you'd get paid and that sort of thing. We're just looking at the side bet here. There's the 9. All right, we're knocking out our numbers real quick here. We need the 11 or 12, and that's a lot of times going to be the case, right? The hardest numbers to hit. But we rolled a 7. So all of these bets are going to lose $75 there, and this is going to restart. Now it's a 7. Our pass line is going to lose. The puck's going to go off. We're going to have a new game. Let's go ahead and try this one more time. We're not as confident, so maybe we'll do 5, 5, 5. And you know what? Hey, we're going to do a tip for the dealers. So 1, 1, 1 for the dealers as well. All right, new shooter coming out. Let's see what happens here. 5, we're out on that 5. So we'll mark that here. And again, this doesn't really matter, but we are going to mark it here. And make sure your dealers are marking it, 'cause sometimes they forget. They are human after all. There's the 6. All right, looks like we're working on the low side. Need that 2, 3, and 4. Hey, there's the 12. So we got a tough number out of the way. We haven't had any repeat numbers yet. 6, easy 6. So, well, here it's already marked, so it doesn't help us really. I mean, unless we have a bet on the 6th. Hopefully we're winning on that. All right, here we go. 10 hard, 10 hard. So we'll mark another number. It doesn't matter if it's hard or easy. Just roll in the number. There's that 10. Again, we already have it marked, so nothing happens. And there's that 7. So down it comes. We lose our bets here. And this gets reset. We say we give it one more try. We're going to go back up to 25, 25. Maybe we'll just bet on the low side and the high side, and $5 on the all. And we're going to bet $1 each for the dealers as well. All right, new shooter. This will be my last kind of roll. And again, the probabilities of me showing you this, even an example, are 38 to 1 and 190 to 1. So the likelihood is very slim that we hit it. 7 on the come out, we would lose our bets, and that's just how it goes. I'm gonna, down they come. I'm just gonna show it. Down they come. Have to rebet it. All right. I'm gonna try this one last time. It's gonna be the same shooter. Here we go. 8, easy 8. Mark that 8 up. And there's the quick 7. So down they come. As you can see, it looks easy. Sometimes not so easy. Sometimes the numbers collect real quickly and you're just missing one, but that's what makes it so exciting and such a fun bet. And again, if you see these payouts, which are the most common, pretty bad bet. If you see the higher payouts, hey, throw $1 on it if they'll let you. It's a pretty fun bet for just $1 and 7% house edge. So anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think and what they call locally. So yeah, the most popular, the all tall small, and the make 'em all, and then the little ones, big ones, the boom or bust. Do you have a different licensed one at your local casino? Let me know. All right, until next time, good luck on coloring up.